Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein and I will be your presenter for the next 20 minutes. Today is a very much a basic webinar. So one of the more basic ones we've done in a while. This is simply just an overview of the membership module and some of the key features involved with the membership module. So if you're looking for more specific information than what I'm going to go over to today, you can head out to our website, churchwindows.com, go to our support center. There's a lot more specific or topic-based information out there. So again, keep in mind today is going to be very basic, just a simple overview of the key features of the membership module. I am going to record this webinar. We're going to put it on our website along with the other basics that we're doing for the rest of the week. Or the rest of the month, I should say. We're going to do just a basic overview of every topic or every module that we have, including the payroll program as well. If you have questions, feel free to type those into the questions section on the GoToWebinar toolbar. Again, there's just one of me. We had over 100 people registered for today, which is great, but it is just me. So if I don't get to you right away, please bear with me. I will get to your questions and do some answering at the end of the webinar. Also, the information, kind of the guide that I'm following for today's webinar, it is from our website along with the other webinars we're going to do for the week. So if you head out to churchwindows.com, up at the top, go to Beginning, and then click on this How Do I Start section. It's going to take you here. Down on the left side, there's this Getting Started PDF. Go ahead and click on that. And there's a lot of information here, but if you scroll down, here's a table of contents. Today, since we're just doing membership, I'm going to focus on the specific topics here in this Chapter 2 section. So if you want a hard copy, a printout of what I'm going over today, you can print out this PDF. It is really long. It's 193 pages. So when you go to send it to your printer, you can choose to only print pages 29 through, looks like 63, 64. So if you want to print this out, feel free to do that. I am recording it. I'm going to put it up on our support center on our website here by the end of the day. Rewatch it, share it with somebody else that you think might find this information helpful. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Open up membership. Okay, so across the top here in membership, you have a whole bunch of different options here. This is how you're going to navigate through the module itself. So as you click on different options in the ribbon up at the top, you can see that the second ribbon below is changing the features that you have available. Okay, there's the help. Didn't mean to click on that. Close that. And then also there's a Windows option here. I'm going to briefly again go through each of these sections up at the top and discuss what those functions are going to do for you in the software. Okay. Along with these options across the top, you also have some shortcuts here in the middle in this blue box. So everything in this blue box here, you can also get to up at the top. These are just kind of quick clicks, if you will. Okay. So up here at the top, if we start with people, you're going to have people, find, visits, transfer to donations. Let's go ahead and go to people, which is the same if we were to click on it in the middle here. And this is going to open up all of your families or all of your households that you have entered into membership. Okay. Now with that being said, on the left-hand side of the screen, you have essentially your house or your family listed over here. Let's get to a family that has more people. Let's go to the Bernard family real quick. As you can see, family number, that's assigned automatically by the software. You can't adjust that number. Mailing label, this is if you are going to address something to this family. What family name would you want to appear at the top? Their address information is going to go here, phone number, and then all of the people that make up this household or this family are now going to be listed down here. Right-hand side of the screen, this is going to be all of the people that make up the family that we're looking at. So as you click through each individual over here on the left, as you glance to the right, you're going to see the corresponding information for that person that you have highlighted. Okay. Over here on the right side now, you have their name information at the top along with a bunch of individual fields here at the lower half of the screen. This is where you're going to track people's status codes, whether you want to see them on the directory, their birthday, their family relation, their marital status, their membership date. Anything you wish to track for the people that make up your church or your organization, you can customize and create down here. All right. Software is going to come with some preset fields that we think most people, most churches, most organizations are going to utilize, but you can always add more to this. So over here on the right, you have a Customize Fields button. This is where you can go in and add new fields that you wish to create. You can hide particular fields that you don't wish to see. You can also make certain fields required. So say you always want to know what someone's birthday is when you create them, you can make that a required field. Or you always want to specify what their membership date is if they have a category of member. All of that can be done directly here in this screen. Okay. Speaking of categories, up here at the top left, you have a field that says this family's category. All right. Program's going to come with two by default, members and visitors. And this category applies to the entire family. Okay. You can also create additional categories. Say you want to create a staff category or a potential category or like a category for kids who are coming in who aren't members but are coming in for a preschool or a camp, something like that. This is all customized here within this category feature. All right. You also have tabs within each specific side. So over here on the left, you have additional tabs for tracking additional information here on the left side. Comments is just an open text box. You can type in whatever you like. Photo, you can add a family photo if you wish to do a pictorial directory. Now, over here on the right side of the screen, you have the options for groups and classes. We'll talk about this in a minute. So this is where you assign people. Once you've created groups and classes that you have happening in your church, you can then put people into them. Same thing with skills and interests, or time and talents, I've heard it called as well. This is where you can track this for Evan Bernard, because that's who we are looking at. Additional address, phone, email. If you have things you want to track, say this person is away at school and you want to put their college address here, or they have a house that just they go to certain time of the year, you can track that in this additional or alternate address section. You have also comments for this individual and a photo field as well for this particular individual. Right? Up here at the top, the person lookup. This is how you can quickly search or jump to other people. Type in their name, whether it be first, last, or both. Select them, and the screen is automatically going to jump to their record. Okay? Adding a family is very simple. Anytime you are creating a new person, whether it's a family of 5 or a family of 1, you're always going to hit this Add Family button first. Once you click that, you will need to fill in all of their family information in first on the left, then over to the right, hit Add Individual, enter the person, whether it's one person or multiple. So you'll need to hit Add Individual 5 times, for example, if you have 5 individuals that make up the family. Okay? So that, again, basics webinar today. That's a quick overview of people. Let's talk about attendance. This is a really popular feature here in membership. Again, you have a little quick link here to get to attendance entry if you wish, or you can come up to attendance up at the top and see all of the different options. So if I go into attendance entry, this is where you are going to track people that are coming to a worship service, or you are going to track people that have attended a group or a class. So first things first, you have to create the event or the group or classes that your church has as part of their functioning weekly things that happen through your organization. So you'll need to set up your worship services. If you have 3 different worship services on Sunday and you want to track attendance for each of those individually, that means you're going to have to create 3 different events. Okay, contemporary worship, evening worship, and then a Sunday AM worship. You'll need to have each of those set up, and once they're created, you can come in here, choose the date you're tracking attendance for, and because it's an event, everyone is able to attend this event. So you can put in a total people counted if you're content just having a total number, or if you have like attendance cards. My church growing up, you'd always have to fill out the card, throw it in the offering plate. If you do something like that, then you can come through and check who's present and so forth, okay? You do have some options in here for customizing this screen as well. Now, as far as groups and classes, this is a little different. When you set up groups and classes, you're going to assign people into those said groups and classes, for example. So right now, if we're looking at our 1st and 2nd grade Sunday school class that's been created, you can see there are 3 kids who are part of that class. And then you would come down here and you can check them present, excused, communed. These other fields are customizable. These are additional things you can track. So this is participated well, brought a friend, studied the lesson. You can also track these fields as well. Now, by default, groups and classes have to have people assigned to them, okay, which are these 3 kids. But you can also come to this Not Enrolled tab. You can check that they were present, say they were just trying out the group for a week, or you can check them as present and even hit this Enroll button, and then that will add them here to the said group or class that you're working on. You can also get reports right from this screen with the print button up at the top. Browse attendance is going to show you all of the attendance that you've entered so far. So say you want to go into someone's record and see who's attended and how often. Browse is a great place to do that. You can come in here. Let's say we want to look at Richard. We're going to expand him and we can see that his last time he attended was the 17th of January. You can also print from here as well. Transferring attendance, this is used if you're, a lot of times if you have duplicates you're cleaning up. Say you have Rachel Klein in there twice and you need to move the attendance off of the duplicated version of Rachel to the one you're keeping, you can use this awesome transfer feature to move things quickly from one person to the next. Groups and classes, again, this is where you're going to come in and set up those groups and classes, where you're going to assign people to those groups and classes. You can also advance people within their groups and classes as well. For example, if we go into set up groups, you can see all the different groups and classes that you have created. You can also organize them into different departments, which you can see here: classes, committees, fellowship groups, musical groups. Just a way to organize. A lot of really big churches have a lot of different groups and classes that go on. This is a way for you to find them quickly by using these different departments. Then once all of your groups and classes are set up, you're going to come up here to assign. And this is where you can simply choose a group. And it's going to show you, along with the current, the past, and the future people who were part of this group at one time. We want to just see present. Here are those same 3 kids we were talking about earlier. And then you can quickly add more people to it by selecting and moving them over. You can also use start dates and end dates. That's what allows you to use that past and future option. So you can specify when people were involved within what groups. Same thing with skills and interests. You'll choose the specific skill or interest once they're set up. You can create a new one here with a plus sign, and then you can simply add people. Say we select carpentry, we can simply move people over into the group or class if that, or into the skill or interest if that is something that pertains to them. Here is the setup skills option. This is where you would go in and create those new skills or interest, time, or talents that you have. All right, reports. Now we could talk about reports for hours, and we have a lot of webinars on reports, so it's kind of hard to go into too much detail with such a short amount of time we have for an overview. But reports are really powerful. You are able to get labels. You're able to print a directory, whether it's just a text directory or a pictorial directory. You're also able to export the data out. So say you want to take a bunch of information and put it into Excel, or you're working on a letter and you want to do a mail merge in Word and input people's names into the top, Dear Rachel and Mitch. You can do that through the export feature up here at the top under reports. We have birthday reports. You can do emails or labels or just simply get a report out. You can say, I want everybody who was born in the month of August, and you could email them a happy birthday card if you wanted to. You could get labels. I have a lot of churches I talk to, they have a volunteer who hand writes someone a birthday card every month. And this would be a great way to get that report out of who has a birthday. You can also include their age on it and their actual birth date, as long as you have that entered into the software. Anniversary works the same way as birthdays. You can run a report on who has an anniversary in the month of August. You could do a report on who's been married for 50 years or more. You can export out their marriage date along with their years married, which is a fun way to see how long different people have been married and then use that accordingly. Groups and skills. Again, you're able to pull a report or generate a report on people who are part of a certain group or class that have a particular skill and interest. This is really handy once Sunday school starts up. You can come in here and you can run a report on who's in what class. Attendance reports as well. This is great for seeing trends or patterns or what people's attendance looks like over the years or over the months. It's up to you to set the date range. There's also an attendance worksheet, which is really handy. It's like a roster that you can generate to give out to your different teachers, and that way they can check who's attended, give it back to you, so you can then use the attendance entry feature to track that. Visits is part of the software that allows you to track who's been visited by someone in the church. So let's touch on that real quick here under visits. Let's go to Nina. She's always kind of my go-to example. And let's hit add visit. This is the part of the software where you can specify if someone was visited by someone in the church and why they were visited. So for example, let's say Nina had surgery, she's in a recovery care place for the next couple weeks, and someone went to go check on her and pray with her. If you want to track that, that's what you would do here in visits. So you would say visited by. You can customize these to whatever your needs are of your church. Let's say senior pastor. Location, again, you can adjust these to what you need. Let's just do nursing facility. And then the reason. Lots of different options here you can customize. You can also add comments in as well, like Nina just had surgery, she's going to be in rehab for a little bit, went to pray with her for half an hour. You can track all that here along with the date. And then once you get those visits tracked for different people, you can come up here and you can get reports on that. Other, blank data entry form. This is a really handy tool that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. Blank data entry allows you to generate a report with the certain fields you want to track on people, hand said report to people, have them fill it in, have them give it back to you, and then you have all the information you need to put in for those people. So this is really handy if you're trying to go through, clean up your database. This is really handy to give. If you have people come into a new member class, say, hey, I need you to fill this out so I can get you updated in church windows. Another great tool for keeping your data as up to date as possible. The send email feature, this is if you want to email the people that are in your database. So A lot of people use this for emailing donation statements, which we'll talk about later this month in that overview video. You want to email people your newsletter. A lot of churches I talk to send out a newsletter pretty regularly, and they can do that via email as long as those emails are on the people's record in the people section of membership. Okay. Cruising right along here. Special functions, settings. I highly recommend going here and looking over the different setting options which allow you to customize and utilize your church windows the best way that fits your church and your needs. Advancing grade, there is a school grade feature in church windows. If you want to, it's about that time schools are starting again. You can come in here, advance those kids. So take everybody who was in first grade, move them up to second, move them up to third, and so forth. That's the advanced grade feature. Advanced groups, this would be used if you have choir or you have Sunday school classes where kids move up at different times. You can use this advanced group feature and take everybody in a first grade Sunday school, move them up to a second grade Sunday school, second grade and third. This is just specific to your different groups and classes. Customized fields, again, we talked about that. This is where you set up those fields over on the right that are specific to your data, what you need. And the dashboard, this is really handy. I don't think a lot of people know that this is here, but this is some different graphing options that you can customize and use to pull different reports out for maybe committees or things like that, information people want to see. I'd really recommend coming into the dashboard and kind of playing with these. They came out a couple years ago, and I'm not sure everybody knows they're here, to be honest. So I would recommend checking these out as well. All right. 2 minutes late. That's not too terrible. That covers everything that I wanted to go over with you about the basics of membership.